right, good afternoon again. Let me stop. Installation of application, how to update application and files, right? Can anybody recap what we last did? How to modify. Now we are looking at some of the commands that's sudo apt I get or by the name of application, right? That's sudo apt I get complete now. Let's quickly look at Linus editors. Linus, Linus, Linus editor. What do we find? Linus test editor. Then add the same Linus test editor. Linus has Linus has various test editors. Linus has various test editors, brackets, that is an application that provide an interface for writing text. Fine. An application that provide interface for writing. The interface is to that side, but as Linus and right, with but as ID is interface that allows write and our code. But at times, not because just want to write tests like when you type on. We have test editors that call whenever such arises. That is what I want to talk about. I said Linus has various test editors. Brackets, the code an application or applications that allows us to write and save this. Brackets and that should be installed by default. That should be installed by default. What we are saying is that majority of these things they are already by and by the example, S1 B and BI that is B BI B BI. How to describe it? B is the code to that is more difficult to use. But why the user with possible power? Why possible power? Have been the second one before that out deploy them and and all these are names of this page or the application. How do we define this site? The updated version of the updated version of with improved users interface and new features. With improved users interface and new because just like a higher version. We have another one which is called nano, nano, nano. Other test editor devices which compares that with one another uh, have a pad and then a pad that bio. Test editor that is example test editor that is example pad that that what we typically see on. So now that we have an idea of this, let's look at how can we what file or test. That is the next one. How to write text into detailed direction. How to write it into detailed direction. Remember that in our previous lecture we have about how to create what Linus command in what direction, right? What we are simply saying is like it. Then now open Microsoft Word, pay attention. Create a folder, open Microsoft Word, start writing. Then you now go to save as. You now direct to how to insert the lines. First thing is not the what that after that we have to create the file and channel the file into that. What is a command for that? Name what? MKDIR, right? Followed by what? Right? So let's see how we want to give it that or no. Not now, how can you, for example, I want to write welcome to diversity and I want to save it as a file, not directly. So we at this point need to call on the towards the or what and or back. And I said one of them version why about um, now how do I know like that it's fine that is I'm going to start by saying BI. That BI is that so by what? A law. Can call it ability. But you have also find direction and that why If I run enter now, now once I get out, network always uh always have or display the only memory box but only see time or time what you see. So then let's say B um oh, out. Okay, so issue is the issue. Directory directory what actually by 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 also say find the language by 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 now let me take this let me activate something terminal. So now you can actually type just by and press enter it place the ports five that is not okay. That's why I say that instead of just calling so add one any five that after that five right so five words the normal then instead of just pressing call it normal right five so I'll just say what dot was five that one five five next what now and next but like now nothing is ending. I'm typing nothing is what is type I type out like first name type the by after that type Right, right, I, that, that, I, that, I, that, right? Now, outside, let's see, this time, when it comes to uh, 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 now, after you have now, now, right? That one you say, you press escape. Now, it's good, right? After right, after now, right, right? How do you write? After that, type code shift and code. You see that dot that came out? I believe you know how to achieve that. On your keyboard, press shift and you see where the two dots are. Shift and locate where you have those two. Code. Have you found it? So you have to press, of course, once we have escape, that's when you press that shift and what. After that, write what? Yes, for saving. Now, W is for writing. It's for quitting. We are combining them together. W is what? For writing, while Q is for what? Quitting. That is, we are saying that write and what? Quit. Save and what? Quit. Press enter to like back to back to back. That's five, five, oh, five. All right. Now, now the next thing is for us to, I will say here, let's assume that you want to see that file again, maybe tomorrow night, you want to call out that file, maybe are we on the same page? I have the file, but we have a side discussion. I'm watching it. I'm not five, 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 five. So that's A2. We call that same name. There are two ways you can actually do that. So I can do what? VI. I can do VI followed by the what? That name of that file and that make it back. Right? Same thing. Let's say add more. Thank you. Copy. I want to edit escape and then code right fix president. I can also use this paper cards go by the name of that lab file. You get it at the screen. It's bad. Now, now, if I want that file, I want that file, um, the this is that. You say what? VI followed by what? That will put it up and allow you to what? Add to what? I will play that. Now, I want to exit now, so I'll show you that one. Escape, then colon, W and Q. Press it. Now, what I want is just the file, right? At right now, not in the editor. I want to view the content in my terminal, not the editor. We use what? Caps. See it followed by the name of that tab. So this is just like you open it there and then you say that is like in accent. Right? That is clear. And so that result will be basic Linux. Now then we can to bash, Dr. Bash, and what we speaking language that says we can in we navigate around Linux. If I do not navigate, if I have to walk around it, like there are set of languages we need to understand. First one, what we have, right, introduction to Bash. Basics. All of them use their basics that we are using. Introduction to what? Bash scripting basics. So how do we define Bash? Right. Bash is the language. Bash is the language to navigate Linux and execute command. Is the language used to navigate Linux and execute command. Language to navigate Linux. all of the Linux commands that have been learned so far can actually be used as scripting. All of the Linux commands that have been learned so far can actually be used in bash scripting. Another part about the those commands along with some knowledge of basic bash. Using those commands along with knowledge of basic bash, data will help you get processing those commands along with your knowledge of basic bash that help getting processing. All of these we are preparing for critical hacking device. No way we can practice, learn penetration testing without us learning the languages we need to provide those things. It's very key that we understand the concept. Then another note about bash, right? All bash scripts, so very important. All bash scripts start with let me type it here. All bash scripts start with it. So anytime you want to initiate scripts written or to be written in bash is a constant. You must start with this, write this. Start with hash and then exclamation. And then followed by /b, then /bash. So this is how you can start writing bash scripts. It's compulsory. Right? So now that we now understand the syntax, let's look at another fact. Right. The command we execute in order that you put them. The command will execute in the order that you put them. So another fact about the bash is to declare a variable. You will write to declare a variable. You will write declare a variable. You will write. If I ask you now, what is variable? The last time I confirmed, found out that most of us don't have programming knowledge. Most of these terms are strange. Let me find out. You don't know what is called variable in programming? Put it down. Variables are containers to hold value. Variables are containers to hold value in programs. There is no programmer irrespective of the language that will not inform what variable. But the idea is that variables are containers used to hold value within a program. That's explanation. So I was saying that let's assume you want to develop application. I will take my name as an input, take my age, and take my state, and I'll put them to what? So you will need variable to store what? My name in that book. You need variable to store my age in that function. Also need variable to store my state in that function. Now, when you are writing your code, when you get to where you need my name, the reference was the variable. Let's go back to that part I want to take. I say what? To declare a variable, now that we know what variable is, to declare a variable, to create variable, to declare a variable, you will write, that is what I want to write on the slide. You will write variable name, and then followed by assignment operator, followed by the value. This is the basic syntax of writing variable. Bash. That these are what programming languages. That is why you see us using programming text. So the whole of this section will be what the name of the variable. Why this equal sign in programming topic assignment operator. It's like the file that we convert the value into the what the container. So between this and this and this, because it's a container name. This is container name, right? While this is the bucket that is fetching what the value into what the container. That is what we are saying. Then another fact about this again is to access a variable. You write all this, or you see them being out now. To access a variable, you will write dollar sign, followed by the variable name. Followed by the variable name. So this is how you call variable. Just like the way we use what? Cats. Call what? That test created, that edited. So once we have created a variable and you want to call it what we have called inside, you are going to reference with what? Dollar sign, followed by the variable name. Now the next one, the next part is to print something out on the screen. You will write echo. You are writing that. To print something out on the screen, you will write echo. You will write echo. Echo. Then you will now insert the text you want to print. So here I can just say what? Insert text to print. Insert what? Text to print. So this is going to be the format. Any question? Because I want to capitalize on what I've done on standard working with what? Bash. What is the first step? You must start your screen. What slide? Otherwise, anything that not recognized as what Bash. Now let's go to our terminal and write. Let's go to our terminal and create all right. There was a code I gave to all the other time that just want to clear everything, right? You can just say what? Clear. Let's remove everything. Okay, so the first thing, look up. The first thing is for you to create what? A file. It is that file that you now follow the principle that says start with what? Hash, exclamation mark, slash what? E slash what? Bash. So how do you create file? It's going to just land now. BI, right? Let's say what? Bash practice. Just an example. Bash practice. It's possible that I have something like that. Let me say bash practice 8. Bash practice. So I'll press enter. What this command is to open what? Test what? Editor, right? This is where you must start with that word, hash. You have to create a file. You cannot see the reason why you put start returning. So from here, what is the next thing? What we just now? I will switch to what? Writing code by pressing what? I insert. Then I will now start by writing that code. That is what? Hash exclamation mark slash what? In, right? Slash what? Bash. And then you press enter. So with this, you have just acknowledged that this is what? Bash dot fix. Very complicated. So the next step is I want to create a variable. I said start with variable name, right? Assignment and what? The value. So I can press enter, I can press page if I create a variable. By pressing enter button, I will stay together. So the next thing is I will create my variables. My variable is what? Let's say what? This class. So I'm using camel case. Camel case in programming here your variable here it has sequence. Look at what I have here. This is the one, right? Class is another one. What is happening here? The method that start class is happening. So the first one, all the letters are what? One. If I put the sequence of each word after the first word, we always start with what? Capital word letter. Programming that is called what? Camel is. The camel back, you know, that is how it looks like. Goes up like this. And then that is how what camel is. Now, what did I said is the syntax of variable. That you have a variable name session, then assignment, right? And then followed by what you want to store in the variable. Now, this is programming, we have different types of data. We have string, but let me say we have print, and we have composites. For let's say we have primary data, we have what secondary. So under the primitive data, that's what we have what we call what string. So as I continue with the training, anytime I use the word string, I am talking about what? Tests. Data type. We have number. Under number, we have integer, we have what? Floats or double. Integer are whole number. Number without what? Decimal unit. So in programming, almost in all programming languages, whenever you want to store string, that is text in a variable, you must what? Put what? A either double quote or what? Single quote. So the moment I've coupled that quote, it means that what? I want to store what string. I want the string I want to store there. Welcome. So let's say what? This is cyber security training. Now you must end it with the same word. Don't start the same and finish what? Double quote. You have maintained this using a word. So what are we saying? This class is a container, right? What is that container going to hold for us? Sorry, this is what? Let's say this is supposed to be, this is what? Cyber security. This is cyber security training. So this is what you are storing in your variable. So once you have done that, press enter to go to the next line. So this is what I am creating, and I want to go back to my target. I want to complete this, escape, right? Escape, and do what? Code the WQ, that is what? Right and quit, press enter. So we have what? Created what? First script. And the script is just get rid of what? Variable, right? And sorry what? String. Now I said to access variable. We are going to use what? Echo. You remember from the data given. Are you using that to access what? Variable? Let's say Okay, so now let's even find out whether this particular file exists within our directory. To run which code? ls, right? Let's check. We have bash 8, and the bash was practice 8. There. Yeah. Now the next thing for us to want to view it, want to view the breakdown, you can type what ls space what and debug. And so give to the what the breakdown. ls hyphen n is for what? Just ls. Talk about this when we're learning ls what space and what n. So you can also do ls hyphen la. This one will give you another one. There are different ways you can play your direction. Now, where are we going to? What we actually want is to view that particular file. Now, when we did ls, watch out. This particular file that you created is not in executable mode. And it was difficult for you to access the content. So there was a code that gave us to switch your directory to what? Executable mode. What is the code again? CH what? So let's quickly do that. CH what? Mode, right? Then plus X followed by the name of the file, which is what? Bash what? What's the name of the file? Bash practice. Make sure that you're spelling this out. No, practice 8, right? Correct. Run it. Perfect. Now, if I run ls again, and you see that the color have changed. That what is now in what executable what mode. So, but where we are going to be what we said in that part. For that reason, we are going to use this. That is period slash followed by the name of the file. You just switch to what executable mode. Practice 8. From where? Okay. Now look up. Let's take it again. Let's say what? VI prosper 9.5. Right? We started with what? The principle, right? Sorry, I have to enter what? Writing mode by pressing what? I, and then hash what? Exclamation mark /bin /what? /bash. Right? Is to create what? The variable, right? To create the variable, I say, okay, let's say the variable is what? T equals to some storage string in the variable. Welcome to my
cyber security training. Make sure you get it this time around. Then, so I want to quit, escape, colon, WQ, enter. Now I have to make it what? Executable what? File, right? By typing what? CH what? CH mode, then plus X, followed by the name. What is the name? Prosper 9.py. Okay, now for me to view the file, I will just say dot slash the name of the file, prosper 9.py. What is that initial code? Just type what? Path, followed by the name, bring the file out. Now look up, let me show you something. See, the reason why look up. So if I do B, just watch out now. If I do something like this has got back to back, right? Now go back to the code I did. Then the code that I'm not executing. That's why we are not saying it. We have not echoed it here before leaving. So we have to write what? Look at it here. Insert. We have to write echo. I said to see the variable content. You have to see what? Echo followed by what? Echo followed by the variable name, which is what? TH. But we have to put $sign. Dollar what? TH. That is the name of the variable. So we were leaving that line. Now look up now, just stay on the screen. Now after this now, if I escape and column WQ and I press enter, watch now. Now, you know, we have already switched it to what? CH code, right? What I will do now, I will just do what? Slash, then this. I use it now to not call out that particular. What we type here? Line 4, echo what? Welcome. Like here, welcome. That's what I type in. So what I go back the file, and then add that particular last line, which is what? The echo. Echo. So come back your file like this, then add this particular line. Echo, then followed by the variable name. When you are typing it, try and leave space. Don't join them together, please. After echo and the dollar variable name, there should be space, please. Write it like this: echo followed by the variable name. Escape. Do this. You can see it now. So I'm trying to get the upper right here. You have to let go. Are you sure you are not okay? Bring it, let the program. Please on the line.